Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave you with those.
Honey, that's all right. My, you look so pretty.
Oh, do you? Good. I think it's conservative enough for the courtroom.
Oh, honey, that's just fine.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad.
Well, sweetheart, are you all right?
No, I don't think I am, but I will be. I'm sure I will be.
I know you will be.
Mom,
Honey, you're supposed to be getting dressed.
what's gonna happen to me after this court thing today?
Yes? Ah, at last. Yes, send him right in. I had you paged 25 minutes ago, Doctor.
Yeah, and until 4 minutes ago, I was in the trauma room. Look, it's been a very busy morning.
Yes, and a very busy evening, too, I understand. Full of interesting developments. I would like to know what on earth possessed you to allow Ben Martin to perform surgery in this hospital.
Eric, do you know what the word custody means?
Mom, I'm not a little kid anymore.
That's right. Now, you're not. So, since your father died, the court has to decide who gets custody of you.
Will that be decided today?
No, it won't, and I honestly don't know how long it will take.
How do they do it?
Well, first of all, my lawyer, that's Mr. Webster, he will try to tell the judge why it would be better for you to continue to live with me. And then Grandpa's lawyer will tell the judge how he thinks it would be better if you would just move in with him.
But doesn't anyone care how I feel?
Oh, of course we do, Eric. And I'm afraid all this court talk just isn't going to be too polite. And it isn't that what you think doesn't matter. It's just that your mother doesn't want you to be upset.
And if you would be there, I'm afraid you would be upset, honey.
So you're gonna show the judge how awful Grandpa is, and he's gonna show the judge how awful you are. That doesn't sound very grown-up to me.
It's my father who has brought all of this on. Now, how can I explain that to him without turning him against his grandfather?
Well, sweetheart, the boy does deserve the truth. You'll find a way to do it. Just go.
Eric? Eric, honey, would you please come downstairs? Eric? Oh, thank you. Honey, I just want to say that you're right. It doesn't sound like a very grown-up thing to do. And the whole reason that it's being done... Oh, it's just that... The only reason he wants you to stay with him is because Grandpa loves you so much. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I love you so much, too.
You don't like Grandpa, and he doesn't like you.
No, I just don't like the things he does. Now, there is a big difference. It really has nothing to do with the way I feel about him.
And no one cares how I feel.
No, Eric, that is not true at all, honey.
Then why don't you ask me who I want to stay with?
Maybe it's because I'm afraid to hear your answer.
I allowed Ben Martin to finish the surgery that he'd started at the scene of the accident.
Knowing that he only had 80% of the use of his hand? Knowing that his OR privileges had been suspended?
Knowing that what he'd done up to that point was brilliant. And knowing that putting another surgeon in the middle of such an intricate procedure would have been ridiculous. Lester, it would have been like letting Picasso finish a painting started by Rembrandt.
Oh, you flatter yourself with that analogy.
Probably. But I don't flatter Ben Martin. Now, that was one of the finest pieces of surgery I've seen in a long time. I was inspired.
Divinely inspired, no doubt.
Possibly. But whatever it was, it worked. It saved Nancy Lawson's life and quite possibly her voice.
Now, whatever it was illegal.
Illegal? Since when was it illegal around here to protect human life? Now, are you deliberately choosing to ignore those facts?
Yes, in this case, the how is more important than the what.
Well, Lester, it's just about time that you were let in on a few things around here.
You bear in mind who you're talking to, Dr. Greeley. You're in enough trouble as it is already.
Well, with all due respect, I'm obviously addressing someone who puts a higher value on legalities than he does human life.
Yes, harsh as it may seem in this particular case, that's exactly what I'm doing. Now, if you'll permit me, it's the quality of Nancy Lawson's life we're talking about here, not the saving of it. Her life was out of danger when Ben Martin performed that tracheotomy at the scene of the accident. Now, even if he was the only physician who could have operated on her larynx, his responsibility as a physician ended when he arrived here. He had absolutely no legal right whatsoever once he entered this building. Now, whether you acknowledge it or not, Dr. Greeley, it is these legalities which allow you and every other doctor in this hospital to function. They protect you.
Yeah, but we both know that there are times when our moral obligations supersede those legalities. Now, you have to risk those protections, Lester.
No, I don't see it that way.
Well, I hope you're never in a situation where it's a choice between your life and a technicality.
It's very interesting that you are talking about risks. Are you prepared to assume responsibility for your actions in this case?
Well, of course.
Good. I'm delighted to hear that.
Well, what exactly did you have in mind?
Well, a temporary suspension is the probable course of action, but I haven't decided yet.
I thought you wanted to keep this situation as quiet as possible.
Very much indeed. If we don't, this hospital is in jeopardy from all sorts of possible lawsuits.
Well, then perhaps you should take under consideration that I won't remain silent if I'm made to suffer for something I don't think was wrong.
As I say, I haven't made up my mind yet.
Will there be anything else?
No. Sylvia, get Ben Martin on the line.
Hello?
I want to speak to Ben Martin.
Ben's asleep right now. He had a really rough night, and unless this is very important, I just feel like I shouldn't.
Yes, I know all about his night, and it is important. Now, please wake him. This is Lester Lewis.
Yeah, well, Mr. Lewis, I feel like that. Just a minute.
Hospital.
Lester.
Surprise. Yes?
I want to see you, please, as soon as possible.
All right. In an hour or so?
That'll be fine.
Lester, I was wondering, would it be possible...
All right, Eric. If you had your own way, who would you choose to live with?
I like it at Grandpa's, Mom. My computer's there, and all my other stuff is there. Besides, all my friends live in that neighborhood.
But your friends have come over here to visit you, right?
Yeah, none of them ever came back. They think this place is as creepy as I do.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thanks for telling me, Eric. Thank you. Well, don't forget, you're going to be spending the day with Jimmy, and we have to get going soon, so why don't you just run on upstairs and get dressed, okay?
You're mad at me for saying that, aren't you?
Look, I will never be angry with you as long as you just tell me the truth, right? So why don't you just get dressed anyway? Did you hear him?
Yes, I did, but let me point out that when you asked him who he wanted to live with, he answered where.
Oh, Ione, does it really make any difference?
Well, sweetheart, it's a child's answer.
Right, that's exactly my point. All this time I've been trying to teach him the importance of people over things, of not just giving his love away to the highest bidder. Now, if this is the way he feels as a child, what is he going to be like as an adult?
Well, there's a lot of years between now and then.
You're darn right there is, and those years are going to be spent with me, not with my father. I am going to start right now and...
Well, just a moment, Miriam. Now, when you speak to him, do it in love and not anger.
I do love him, my own. More than anything.
I don't understand how you can be so calm about all of this.
Well, what's there to be worried about?
Don't talk with your mouth full.
What is there to be worried about?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
I'm serious, Lori. I helped save someone's life. Is that wrong?
This isn't a question of right and wrong. It's a question of Lester Lewis and the hospital regulations. Ben, don't play games with me. You know that as well as I do.
How's that?
No, not so good. So are you going to start an argument with him as soon as he questions you?
I promise I'll try to avoid one.
Yeah, well, that's not a very realistic approach.
True.
There. Oh, well, good. There. So what are you going to say to him?
I think I'll let him have the first say.
But you already know what he's going to say. So what are you going to tell him?
The facts. And I'm going to pray a lot.
He does have to be reasonable, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't. But what can he do to me? He's already fired me.
Knowing Lester Lewis, he will think of something. You know, you performed surgery again. How?
I wish I could tell you. When I saw what had to be done at the scene of the accident, I didn't even think. I just did it. I tried threading a needle a couple minutes ago just to test myself. I couldn't do it. I think more than how, I'd like to know why. Well, I gotta go.
Yes? Good. Send him right in.
Good morning.
Please have a seat. I don't think I have to remind you of your status with this hospital.
No.
Then will you please tell me why you did what you did last night?
Person's life was in danger. Do you want me to recite the Hippocratic Oath?
Now, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nancy Lawson's life was in danger at the scene of the accident. Now, you took the necessary precautions there. What you did here was to repair her larynx.
And redo the trach.
Even though you've been expressly forbidden to set foot in the operating rooms?
Yes.
Answer me one question. Could another doctor have taken over for you after the patient arrived here?
Well, theoretically, yes. Technically, though.
Thank you very much. You've answered my question.
No, I didn't. I had begun to repair the larynx at the scene of the accident. It was very delicate work. Another doctor coming in could have undone everything I'd accomplished up to that point. For the good of the patient, it was necessary for me to finish.
The good of the patient? You have only 80% of the use of that hand, my friend. Your capacity to do harm was much greater than your capacity to do good.
Didn't work out that way, though, did it?
Well, we won't know for sure until she's fully recovered.
No, I know. I know now.
And I want you to know that I find your imprudence in this case extremely distasteful.
Well, I'm sorry. But I didn't come here for your personal opinion, Lester. I came here for your professional one. What is it?
You know, it sounds like Miriam and Eric are having a real heavy-duty conversation up there.
Well, I guess that's what you could call it.
Would I be sticking my nose in to ask what it's all about?
Well, Miriam asked who he'd choose if it were left up to him.
Huh. And he chose Daddy Warbucks, right?
Or at least some of those electronic toys that are over there waiting for him.
Yeah, well, that's a kid for you, I guess. She took that answer for what it really was, I hope.
Yeah, she did. That's what she's upstairs now, trying to show him.
Yeah, well, I can show you the best way to prove what a sweet old man his grandfather really is would be to ask him if he could bring some of that electronic game equipment over to the house here. You can bet your brass door knocker what the answer it'll be. And if that doesn't prove to the kid which end of the deck Scrooge is dealing from, nothing will.
That's a good idea, but let's not make any more trouble than what there already is. Babs, would you get that? I want to make a call to the hospital and get a report on Nancy's condition before we leave.
Okay. That's probably what it is before she went in. Rotten.
Oh, Babs.
Hey, you're early.
Well, you'd rather I was late?
Oh, did we wake up on the wrong side of the bed this morning?
No, we did not go to bed last night, so there was no wrong side of the bed to wake up on this morning.
Hey, you're not nervous, are you?
Nervous doesn't quite cover it.
Lawson, that's Lawson.
Harold, oh, Harold, that's you. Listen, I'll be right down, okay?
That's okay. Mary, no need to hurry. I got here a little early.
Okay.
Listen, what have you got to be nervous about? You're the best lawyer in this city. You'll be great.
This so-called best lawyer is about to come up against the city's shrewdest citizen. I sure hope you got some motion sickness pills. Pass them around. We're in for some rough sailing.
My professional opinion of what you did is no different than my personal opinion.
I guessed that much.
Do you realize how vulnerable legally this hospital is as a result of your actions?
A woman's life has been saved. Now, I would think that overrides all other considerations.
Not if that woman decides the risks you took were wrong. And now just look at the woman who is going to make that decision, Nancy Lawson. Good heavens, if there was ever a woman who knew how to take advantage of a situation like that, she is it. And I have no doubt that the first word she says, if she speaks again, will be, "Get me a lawyer."
And I think when she hears the facts, she'll be grateful.
Yes, well, I hope your insurance premiums are paid up.
I hope yours are too, considering the patient.
You're really quite unconcerned about all this, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess I am. It's out of my hands. I'm not sorry for what I did, Lester, because I know I did the right thing, both medically and morally. In fact, if I were driving home this evening and found myself in a similar situation, I would make exactly the same choices.
Well, thanks for the warning. I'll make doubly sure that all personnel are aware of the possibility.
You've talked with Alex?
Yes, and for assisting you, the appropriate action will be taken against him as well.
What?
I haven't decided yet.
Oh, come on, Lester. Stop acting like a high school principal and start acting like a human being. No one did anything wrong here.
That is a statement that you are in no position to make.
You're right. I don't work for you anymore. There is nothing you can do that will affect me.
But now, don't you be too sure about that.
He can have his license revoked?
Now calm down. It's only a possibility.
But how? I mean, does Lester Lewis really have this much power?
Well, individually, no. But he can register a complaint with both the hospital board and the medical association.
But they've got to see how ridiculous this is.
Hopefully. But you see, technically, he does have a point. Ben was denied OR privileges.
Oh, I just wish he would have taken her to another hospital. So is there anything else he can do?
Well, till this thing is settled, he can deny Ben admitting privileges.
So let him. Ben can take his patients somewhere else.
It doesn't quite work that way.
This is crazy. This whole thing is crazy.
Look, Lori, all these things are just possibilities. Don't lose your perspective.
A malpractice suit. He's getting his admitting privileges denied. He's getting his license revoked. Mother, if all these things happen to him, it's going to kill him.
If those things happen, God knows he's strong enough to handle it. Well, how's the baby?
Fine. He woke up twice last night.
Still on a 3-hour schedule, then?
Yeah, just like clockwork.
Is Alma working out okay?
Just great. Mom, how can people be this way? He had to help Nancy, and God has blessed him in the process. What's the world coming to anyway? I mean, when a person is persecuted for trying to save someone's life.
Well, is everybody ready?
Yeah, just about, I guess.
Okay, well then let's go.
I wonder if you could just do me a favor and say a little prayer.
Oh, well now, why didn't I think of that? Of course. Lord Jesus, this day is yours and we thank you for it. The simplest thing we can do is to ask that your will be done. Anoint Mr. Webster and all those who speak on Miriam's behalf. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Well, who's riding with who?
Oh, I'll take Ione and Eric, and we'll just meet you at the courthouse steps as soon as we drop him off.
Okay.
Why don't you go on out to the car and I'll be along in just a second?
Okay. But, don't forget to make sure the door's locked, okay?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Any help you can give me with my stomach will be greatly appreciated.